Okay, I gotta call you back. I'm about to have Bible study.
Why?
Cause I'm saved. And I read the word. Because it's important to know the word. How else we gonna battle all these demons and witchcraft? How else you gonna do it?
There are other books.
Girl, get off of my phone, girlfriend. Get off of my phone. I'll call you back.
I mean, that book was written by racist white
Girl, goodbye, girl. I'll call you in an hour. Y'all, let me get out the mama. She be on the same room with you.
When Tamar Braxton finally spoke out, it didn't feel like noise. It felt like a warning. This wasn't framed as petty drama or attention-seeking. In her telling, it was something much heavier, a long-hidden truth about the Braxton family, one built not just on fame and music, but on pain, silence, and what she describes as sacrifice. The Braxton sisters were raised in a deeply religious household. Their father was a preacher, their mother a choir director, and gospel music shaped their identity from childhood. Faith wasn't just a belief. It was structure, discipline, and purpose. But when the music industry came calling, everything shifted. Hymns turned into contracts, and spirituality collided with ambition. At the center of that transition was Toni Braxton, who rose to global stardom. She became the face of the family, the voice that carried the Braxton name worldwide. Her success was undeniable: Grammys, hit records, sold-out tours. But according to Tamar, that success came with a cost that wasn't evenly shared. That cost, she suggests, was paid by Traci Braxton. While Toni's career soared, Traci's path looked very different. She was often left out, sidelined, or portrayed as a difficult one, especially on Braxton family values. Viewers saw her frustration, her tears, her repeated attempts to feel included. At the time, many dismissed it as normal sibling conflict. Tamar now challenges that narrative entirely. She claims it wasn't random. It wasn't personality clashes. It was a pattern. According to Tamar, Traci wasn't just excluded. She was positioned that way. The outsider, the scapegoat, the one who carried the emotional weight, so the rest would function, succeed, and maintain a polished image. In Tamar's words, Traci wasn't difficult. She was made disposable. And Tamar insists she saw it all along. For years, she dropped subtle hints, comments in interviews, emotional moments on TV, cryptic posts online. But now, she's speaking more directly, and her message is darker than ever. She believes the family dynamic wasn't just unhealthy. It was controlled, strategic, and rooted in something deeper than fame. Faith plays a major role in her claims. Tamar has spoken about turning intensely to prayer during her struggles, forming prayer circles, studying the Bible, and seeking protection for what she describes as negative or even demonic energy around her. But instead of support, she says she was mocked. And most painfully, she alleges that Toni, who was raised in the same gospel foundation, dismissed her beliefs entirely. Tamar claims Toni criticized the Bible, questioned its origins, and rejected the spiritual practices Tamar leaned on for survival. For Tamar, this wasn't just disagreement. It felt like betrayal at the deepest level. The same faith that once unified their family had become a dividing line. And then come the incidents that Tamar describes as unexplainable. She has recounted waking up injured, bruised, bleeding, disoriented, with no memory of what happened. Moments that she says left her shaken and searching for answers. To outsiders, these could be seen as isolated or medical events. But Tamar connects them to a larger pattern, one she believes mirrors what happened to Traci. That's where her most controversial idea emerges: sacrifice. Tamar doesn't frame it lightly. She speaks in patterns, not coincidences. She points to Traci's lifelong exclusion, her emotional pain, her struggle for recognition, and her untimely death. Then she places her own experiences alongside that timeline, her breakdown, hospitalizations, and near-death moments. To Tamar, it forms a chilling picture. She questions whether Traci was the one who absorbed the family's dysfunction, the one whose suffering allowed the others to rise. And if that's true, she asks, what does that say about the system they were part of? The family's current dynamics only deepen the mystery. Tamar has openly said she feels cut off from her sisters. She claims Towanda Braxton rarely communicates with her unless it's for public appearances, while maintaining regular contact with the others. She describes a sense of deliberate exclusion, not distance, but separation. Public moments have added fuel to that perception. birthday messages that Tamar calls insincere, silence during her lowest points, a lack of visible support when she faced health crises. To fans, these moments might seem small individually, but together, they paint a pattern Tamar insists is intentional. Meanwhile, Toni continues her career, maintaining her legacy as a music icon. She has spoken openly about her complicated relationship with religion, even admitting that aspects of it felt restrictive in her youth. Paired with Tamar's accusations, this has led fans to question whether deeper ideological divides have shaped the family's relationships for years. Since Traci's passing, everything feels heavier. For Tamar, this is no longer just about conflict. It's about purpose. She presents herself as someone speaking not only for herself, but for her sister who can no longer speak. She wants people to re-examine everything. Old episodes, interviews, family interactions. Moments once seen as entertainment now feel, to her and many fans, like evidence. And the more she speaks, the more unsettling the narrative becomes. She describes a family environment where loyalty is expected but not reciprocated, where faith can be used or dismissed depending on convenience, where silence is enforced, and speaking out comes with consequences. She even uses terms like cult-like to describe the energy she believes surrounds a family dynamic. At the same time, Tamar acknowledges the risk. She has survived overdoses, hospitalizations, emotional breakdowns, and public scrutiny. Each time she gets closer to fully explaining her perspective, something seems to interrupt. Another crisis, another setback. This pattern has led fans to worry not just about the truth she claims to hold, but about her safety in telling it. Still, she continues. Through social media, interviews, and live sessions, she hints that there's more she hasn't revealed. She talks about receipts, about stories she's holding back, about truths that could change how people see the Braxton family forever. And that's what keeps people watching. Because if her current claims are only the beginning, what comes next could be even more explosive. At its core, this story forces a difficult question. Is this simply a family fractured by fame, grief, and unresolved conflict? Or is it, as Tamar suggests, something more structured? Something built on patterns of exclusion, control, and sacrifice? There's no clear answer. Not yet. But one thing is undeniable. Tamar Braxton has shifted the conversation. What was once seen as reality TV drama is now being re-examined through a much darker lens. And as she continues to speak, one haunting question lingers. If Traci was the one who suffered first, who, if anyone, could be next?